What made you decide to start this podcast?
What made me decide? Uh, I had some pretty interesting friends, with good stories, like you when I met you, and then Rob. He said he was moving. These would be interesting stories.
Right.
Interesting topics, and there were so many things that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't have the means to do it.
Right.
Like I didn't have my own podcast.
Right.
So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. But it took me, I remember how I kept saying, I'm getting it ready, I'm getting it ready.
Yeah, it took a long time, yeah.
Look, I had to get all this stuff.
Right.
I had to set it up.
Yeah.
So this setup, actually, because you have to wait in the mail, I had to wait to get a part.
Right.
And then I can't connect it. I need
Right.
another part.
Right.
So then I have to order that part and get it. So that's what took so long.
Right.
So getting all the pieces, and then setting up the software. I had to set up that mixer over there.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work. It took me like half a year just to set it
Wow.
up. Yeah, it took me a long time. Thanks for joining us, Cyril.
Of course, happy to be here.
Yeah, you have a really interesting story. I've really found your story fascinating, and everything that you've accomplished. I'm really impressed. And because you came from Nigeria,
Yeah.
how long ago did you come from Nigeria?
It's over 10 years now.
Over 10 years ago?
Yeah, I came in 2013.
2013?
Yeah, April 2013.
Okay. Why did you decide to come to the U.S.?
Yeah, to go to school.
Okay.
So I decided to come and get my master's degree. So after I got my master's, I decided to stay.
Okay.
Because there's more opportunities here, more, better living conditions here, than in Nigeria.
And you shared with me that now you're studying for your PhD.
Yes, I'm in school right now for my PhD at the University of Texas in Tyler, Texas.
Wow. Oh, in Tyler, Texas.
Yeah.
So,
I'm getting my PhD in business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what you got your master's in also?
Correct, in business
Okay.
as well. And my bachelor's in business as well.
In business? Where'd you get your bachelor's?
From Abraham Lincoln University in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were living there in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I was living there for a while.
You said you had two bachelors.
Yeah, one from Nigeria and one from the US.
Oh, okay. What's your bachelor's in Nigeria?
I was actually in business. I'm a business guy. I'm a business guy. So I, want to build an empire, in business. So I want to be able to understand if, for example, if my COO or my accountant or whatever is telling me something, I want to be able to understand what's going on or what you're telling me. Do you understand?
Right.
So I want to learn everything I can about business so I can build this empire that I can already see in my head,
Yeah. What were some of the biggest challenges that you had coming to the U.S. While you were there in Nigeria?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges was getting a U.S. visa. If you're born in America, you already have so much privilege that you don't even understand. For example, if you're born in America and you get a passport, you can travel almost everywhere. You can just buy your plane ticket and go to anywhere you want. But in Nigeria, you will have to apply for a visa just to come to America, and they wouldn't give you the visa if you're poor or maybe middle class. And it took me 10 years to get a U.S. visa.
10 years.
Yeah, and 10 deniers. I kept trying and they kept denying my visa application, and I kept trying.
What were the reasons for the denials?
They don't have to give you any reason. They'll just tell you, we're sorry, we're not able to approve your visa application at this time. You can try again later. That's it.
Who denied it? Was it the Nigeria or the U.S. denying it?
The U.S. Embassy in Nigeria, the consulate in Nigeria.
Oh, it was the consulate.
Yeah.
That's where you go apply.
Correct.
Oh, okay. What were some of the biggest challenges in coming to America? Like the process of coming. How did you get here? Was it by boat, by plane?
By plane, of course. You have to fly. It's not like you can walk from Nigeria. You have to fly in.
Yeah.
When you get here, they stamp you in, and that's it. But after I got here, things was also difficult because after I got here, I was homeless for a while. I was sleeping in my car.
Yeah.
So
How long were you sleeping in your car?
a couple of weeks. Think about 3 weeks.
That was here in Houston?
No, in LA.
Oh, in L.A.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where you started in L.A.
Correct.
Okay. And then after, How did you get out of that situation? You sleeping in your car?
Yeah, my family back home, I didn't want to. I didn't want to tell them initially that I was homeless,
Yeah.
But when it became unbearable for me, I had to tell them, and they, sent me money from Nigeria. But the funny thing is that if you send dollars to Nigeria, and they change it to naira, which is the currency we use over there, it's a lot of money, But if you send naira from Nigeria to America and you change it to dollars, so it's nothing, It's a lot of money. So
Yeah.
because initially I was, staying with this friend and I was paying half of the rent, but after some time I couldn't pay no more. So that was how I became homeless. I started sleeping in my car, but then my family, they helped me out and they sent me some money to get a very small studio, apartment. And I was paying, and I started paying rent with the money they were sending to me from Nigeria. So that was how, because I couldn't work here, if you come here, you don't have your papers, you cannot work.
Gosh.
So couldn't work, couldn't do nothing, just to go into school.
So I know it's unbearable. Just living in your car is tough. But explain what was it that was unbearable about living in your car?
Because you can't really sleep. If you're laying on the bed, you can stretch your legs and sleep. But sleeping in your car, you have to sit up. And the car I had was a 2-seater.
Was it like a roadster?
It was a Z4, this BMW Z4. Just 2 seats in the front. There's no back seat.
Yeah.
So lay down. So I had to sit like this. And then it was winter.
Yeah.
And it was so cold. And if I turn on the heater, my gas is it's running out. And
Aren't those convertibles?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Oh
Z4
my
is convertible. Yeah, it
gosh.
is. I still have a picture of it,
You sleeping in the car?
No, picture of the car, right?
Oh, okay.
It reminds me of when if I knew I was gonna be homeless, maybe I would have gotten a normal car that has a back seat where I can lay down, But then I just have to sleep like this for the whole night. So it's hard.
That must have been hard on your back.
Yeah.
Sleep, and then you're a pretty big. How tall are you?
Exactly, I'm 6'3".
6'3". How much do you
Right,
weigh?
about 205.
In that little car.
Right,
Wow.
exactly.
For 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then in the morning I have to go to the gym to use the bathroom to brush my teeth, and and then maybe every 2 days I'll go to the beach to take a shower in the ocean.
Little salty.
It's better than nothing, But I'm very, I think I'm pretty very resilient. I can go through tough times and challenges, and I'll take it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Wow, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
So that was, I suppose, your biggest challenge in the U.S., or would you say, or have there been any other challenges since then?
Correct. Getting my because to get your papers, you have to, apply, to USCIS to get your green card and shit like. So it takes time,
Yeah.
Some people, I've seen people that waited for a long time, 10, 20 years before they got their papers.
Yeah.
So I waited for a long time too, a couple of years. And during that period, you can travel. Because if you leave, you can come back. So I missed my family, my friends, and but I was lucky to get my papers to be able to travel. Just think 2 years before my mom passed, I was able to go to the funeral.
Oh.
I know a lot of people here that can go to the funeral of their dad or their mom.
I know, I hear that.
Exactly, because they don't have papers, so they are stuck here. So I was so lucky that before she passed, I got my papers, so I was able to, go to the funeral.
Oh, and had you gone before? When did you get your papers here in the U.S.?
2017.
2017.
So I went back home in 2018.
In 2018. So you got to see
my
her
mom passed.
while she was still alive then?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. Then she passed in 2019.
Okay.
So I went back again for the funeral.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
No problem. Thank you.
What was your first impression of the U.S. when you got here?
That's a good question. I think a lot. But, the way the roads are big and, all connected. And, in Nigeria, some of the roads are they're not connected. If you're stuck in traffic, you're stuck in traffic. You can't, take another road or, things like that. So I think the roads are pretty big and a lot of roads and, connected to each other. So you can always take any road, And
What do you mean they're not connected? They're not connected in Nigeria. What is it like? Go from a road to dirt road, or
So most okay. Let me put it this way. Let's say you're going from let's say from the Galleria to downtown, correct?
Okay.
And there's traffic.
right?
You can easily take a detour. You can take so many other roads. But in
Right.
Nigeria there are very few roads like to connect you to downtown.
Oh,
So you have to stay there and wait and be stuck in traffic for a
I
long
see.
time. Do you understand? So
Here, there's like a lot of options, a lot of
Exactly.
ways to get there.
correct.
Okay,
Right.
I see what you're saying. And so, do you have any family here in the U.S.?
Yes, I have my brother in Ohio. He's my big brother. He's my older brother.
Yeah,
So he's
he's your big brother. He's bigger than you.
he's actually pretty smaller than me.
Oh, really?
If we stand, people see both of us, they think I'm the older one because he's very small. But he's my big brother. I have four brothers plus me, 5, and 2 sisters. So
Okay.
we're 7 in total. But yeah, he works for the Ohio Department of Corrections.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a lieutenant in the Ohio Department of Corrections. So he's the only family I have here. But I also have a first cousin that's a doctor
Okay,
in New York.
in New York.
Yeah.
And are those your two? You don't have any family here in Houston?
No.
So you're here on your own.
Correct.
Okay. Did they get here before or after you?
My cousin came here before me, but I came before my brother.
What's your favorite American food?
I think the burgers, what is it called again?
The hamburgers?
No, the double whoop.
Oh, are you talking Burger King or Whataburger?
Yeah, Burger King.
Burger King,
Yeah, I
the
love-
Whopper.
Yeah, the Whopper, the double Whopper. I love it.
They don't have that in Nigeria?
I think they are opening some. I think McDonald's is opening up now, and
Okay.
I don't know about Burger King, but I think there's some fast food opening up in Nigeria now.
Oh, okay. But you favor Burger King Whoppers over McDonald's?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Wait, there's a McDonald's across the street from my house.
Oh.
I live by the Galleria. If you're looking out from my window, you see the McDonald's, but I don't go there. I drive all the way to Burger King to get my double Whopper.
Okay. Are you employed now here in the U.S.?
I sell luxury cars. I sell cars.
Okay, that's what you do now.
Yeah,
You sell luxury cars.
I buy some cars and I ship overseas to my clients in Nigeria and Dubai.
Wow. How did that opportunity come up?
When I first moved here, I was, some of my friends and family in Nigeria were calling me to help them look for cars. They wanted to buy a car. They would say, hey, can you help me check out this car? See if you can help me buy and ship it over. And I said, okay, I was just doing it for free for family and friends. Then one day I had an epiphany. I said, fuck it, I have to, excuse my language.
It's okay.
I said, wow, I can actually monetize this, turn it into a business. So I started, building the company, telling everybody that now I can buy any car you want and ship it over to you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I started a website and put some cars, social media, pictures of cars, everything like that. That was how I started building the business. But after some time, I realized that there was not enough profit in selling all these normal cars like Toyota, Honda, the small cars,
Yeah.
So there was more profit in the luxury cars.
Yeah.
Because rich people, they don't care about the price. They just tell you what they want. If you can get it, you make money.
Right.
And most of them, for example, in Nigeria, because of the insecurity, they need bulletproof cars. So they'll tell you, hey, girl, if you can get a car for me that is bulletproof, then...
And you can do that? You can get bulletproof cars?
You can actually get a car and then take it to a bulletproof company that will install the bulletproof on the car.
Do you do that here in the U.S. or do it in Nigeria?
You do it here and then
Okay.
ship the car over there.
And you've done that
Yeah.
for customers?
Correct.
Wow.
Many times. So the luxury car business is more lucrative than just selling regular cars.
Just out of curiosity, here in the U.S., how much does a car like that go for, like a bulletproof car?
It depends, It depends on the car and the kind of bulletproof installation you want, But
Oh, okay.
you just buy the car and then take the car to a bulletproof company that will install the bulletproof on the car. So it depends on the car.
Wow. So then you're resourceful. You came upon an opportunity. People were asking you for a product,
Right.
and then you started shipping these cars and found that you could start a business that way.
Right.
So are you keeping inventory over there, or are you just shipping on demand?
So it's a combination of both. Okay, sometimes I buy cars and just ship it over, hoping someone will like some of the cars and buy, especially during the festive periods like December, Christmas. People buy a lot of cars, during Christmas periods. But the other way I do it, it's when, some of my friends or some customers or clients, they need a car, they'll call and say, hey, can you get me a 2022 Rolls Royce Phantom?
Wow.
With some specifications,
Yeah.
If you can get that, I will be, willing to send you the money to buy it. And I
Yeah.
say, okay, I can get it. I can get anything you want as long
Yeah.
as you can send the money.
Yeah.
So they will send the money, and I will buy the cars. Make sure it has everything they want in the car, and then I'll ship it over.
What was the hardest part about leaving your home country, Nigeria?
It's leaving your family behind.
Yeah.
You don't even know when you're gonna see them again.
Yeah.
And I have a daughter. She's
Oh.
14 years old, and knowing that I'm leaving her behind and I might not see her for a long time, So that's the hardest part.
Are any of your family members ever going to join you here in the U.S.?
It depends. Some don't want to come. They're living a good life over there.
Yeah.
Some of them wants to just come and visit and go back.
Do you send money back now from your business to your family or your daughter?
Yeah, of course, for my daughter. She depends on me. I'm her daddy. But my other siblings, they are all grown. Everybody's doing well.
They're doing
my
their own
sisters-
thing.
Yeah, my sisters are married. My immediate elder brother is a lawyer.
What do you miss most about Nigeria?
Some of the freedoms we enjoy over there, we don't really enjoy them over here. I'll give you an example. If you're speeding, nobody cares. As long as you don't get into an accident, no police is not going to get behind you and pull you over and give you a ticket,
There's no cops with radars?
No, nothing like that, There might be checkpoints. So if you're approaching the checkpoints, you slow down, and after that, you continue on your way. Or, for example, if you're coming from the club and you're drunk and you've been drinking and driving, nobody cares. Nobody's going to pull you over and you get a DUI and ruin your life.
Really?
Nothing like that,
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about the most important thing now is this gun issue. I have some friends and some family in Nigeria that they're actually rich and they want to send their children overseas to go to school. And the first choice was America, but because of this gun problem, they decided to send their children to the UK.
Really?
Yeah. So that's another thing. You're not worried about someone shooting you or someone coming to the mall to shoot up the mall or or the club. You're not worried about police, shooting you because you didn't pull over or something like. None of those problems.
Yeah.
So those are the things I really like about Nigeria.
I think there were, as of the end of June, something like June or July, 142 mass shootings. I remember reading an article about that.
Crazy, yeah.
Like once a week or twice a week, some just crazy
It's
statistic.
horrible.
And so, are guns legal in Nigeria?
No, you can't own a gun
You can't own a gun.
at all, except you are a hunter, and then you have to go through the application process, which takes years.
Really?
Before they approve it, and you can only get a double barrel shotgun, something like that, just to hunt. But you can't you can buy a pistol or a handgun, any handgun or an AK-47 or AR-15. No, you can't get that.
What are the main differences between Nigeria and the U.S.?
Some of the main differences are, one, the fact that here the system of government works. Politicians are held responsible. They cannot just steal the money that belongs to everybody. And siphon the money. FBI will get them. You know what I'm saying? And even there might be corruption, but it's not as as prevalent as it is in Nigeria. There were maybe a little nepotism, but it's not as bad as it is in Nigeria. So the problem in Nigeria is the corruption and the bad government, because Nigeria is actually a rich country. It's number one in Africa economically. It's the richest country in Africa, but the politicians and the government, they steal all the money, they siphon the money abroad, and hide it somewhere in Singapore and other places, and then the citizens are suffering. There's no steady electricity. There's bad roads. All these things that are basic that people are supposed to enjoy. Here in America, as long as you can pay your light bill, you have electricity, right?
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, you might get electricity 30 minutes or 1 hour in a day. And then people, have to plug their phones to charge it for that duration of time, for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that if they take the light, if there's no longer electricity, you can use your phone for the rest of the day. It's crazy.
Really? So if you only get it 30 minutes of the day, how do you know what 30 minutes it's going to be?
Exactly. You don't know.
You don't know?
Exactly. So if you're not home and there's like maybe your work and you come back, there's no light.
You may have missed it.
Exactly.
that 30 minute
Exactly.
So what do people do then? Like if they are home and the light comes on, what is it that people do? Are they rushing to use it?
Right. You have to plug in your phone to charge your phone or your computer or to do whatever you need to do with the electricity before they take it.
And then do you still get a bill for that 30 minutes?
100%. Wow. Still gotta pay.
For the 30 minutes.
Yeah, I still gotta pay a lot of money. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just bad governance,
Yeah. How did you finance your trip over here to the U.S.? When you were over there in Nigeria, how did you get the money to come? Did it cost a lot to come over here? Was it a big initial investment or?
No, yeah, it costs some money because you need money for the visa application process, and I tried so many times, like I said earlier, over 10 years was looking to get a visa, and you also have to buy a plane ticket after you get a visa and plane tickets flying from Nigeria to America is pretty expensive,
Yeah.
But those are the main, money, the main costs.
Yeah.
That's associated with that. Yeah.
How did you come up with the money to do that? Did you have a job over there?
I was working, and my parents too.
Okay.
They've been really supportive,
Okay, so they helped you out. So.
Right.
Okay. Would you recommend immigration to other people in Nigeria or any other country, for that matter, that are going to be watching this video?
To come to America?
Mm-hmm.
Coming to America has its advantages and disadvantages, For example, like I said earlier, if you're leaving your family back home and coming over here, you don't know when you're going to see them again, And when you get here, life is not going to be easier because you have to also struggle and, be able to survive first before you can even, help your family back home, which takes a lot. Like I said, I became homeless here because of the bills you have to pay, and if you're not working, it's difficult because you can't work if you don't have your papers. So you have to struggle and go through difficult times here until you get your papers. And sometimes people don't get their papers for many, many years, and now they have a lot of backlog. USCIS has a lot of backlogs, and people wait for 5-7 years to even get their papers. So if you're able to take that into consideration before you make your decisions to come here, that would be good. But there are some other advantages. For example, if you're here and you need a car, and you have good credit, you can just go and get a car. The paying. If you want to buy a house, you go and get a mortgage. If you want to rent a house, you rent and pay monthly. But in Nigeria, for example, life is not that easy. It's not that simple. If you want to buy a car, you better have your money ready to go buy the car. Nobody's giving you. Because there's no credit system over there.
Really?
There's no credit. So if you want to buy a car, you have to save up the money and go buy the car. If you want to buy a house, the same thing. There's nobody's giving you a mortgage. If you want to get a loan from the bank, you need a collateral. For example, a landed property or something that you can give to the bank, so they can keep it in case you don't pay back the loan and interest. They'll take it from you. So
wow.
Yeah. So life is.
Sounds like very difficult to buy a home then.
It is.
I mean, how are you going to build up assets unless you can get some kind of credit to build to gain assets?
Right. So that's why it's easier for people here as long as you maintain your good credit. And you have a good job. Just go and to the bank and they'll give you money to buy your buy a house.
There's no credit system in Nigeria.
No, there's none. So it's either you're rich or you're poor.
Wow.
If you're poor, you don't have you can buy a car, you can buy a house, you can do nothing. You just have to be working every day to survive. But if you're rich, you spend the money. So if you see someone, for example, in Nigeria driving a Rolls Royce, that's their car. They bought it. It's bought and paid for 100%.
Wow.
If you see them living in a big mansion, that's their house. They built their house with their money. But here you can see someone living in a mansion, but it's paying mortgage for 30 years. Or you see someone driving in the club, see someone driving a Lamborghini. He's paying car notes. It's not his.
Yeah. They could be up to their eyeballs in debt.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. So you have been really resilient, living in your car for 3 weeks, and then now you own your own business,
right,
and getting a PhD in business
right,
at the University of Texas.
Right.
So you're resilient in the sense that you bounced back from that. You're resourceful because
right,
you saw an opportunity, and you capitalized on that opportunity.
Right.
And you've built that on your own. Did you get a bank loan to do that? Or?
None. Who's gonna give you a loan?
Yeah. because you're an immigrant, right? So
correct.
You have no...
Exactly. You have no credit. You have no papers. You have nothing.
Yeah.
And nobody's giving you that in Nigeria either. The government is just so bad over there. Nobody's gonna help you, and the banks, like I said, they won't give you any loan unless you have a collateral.
Would you say that other people in Nigeria are hardworking? What are people? What do you think is a misconception? Sometimes there are misconceptions about because there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of poor people in Nigeria. What can you tell us about people in Nigeria?
I think Nigerians are very hardworking, very very hardworking, because if you don't work hard, you suffer. There's no government benefits, or handouts, or if you're here in America and you don't have food, you can get
food stamps.
Food stamps, correct, exactly. If you're hungry in Nigeria, you're on your own. Nobody's giving you any food stamps, But the family unit helps. If you're in Nigeria, you have that family unit around you, to help and support you. But yeah, I think Nigerians are very resourceful. They're very hardworking, and they're very intelligent and smart.
So they're not poor because they're not hardworking. It sounds like the government is...
That's the problem.
You said keeping the money, and so they're not investing in the infrastructure,
right,
to give the people the resources they need to succeed on their own, and they're not making any investment in the people to help them become more educated. Would that be a true statement?
Correct. And investing in the basic amenities that people need to even succeed. For example, if you have a business and you don't have electricity, how is the business going to work? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to make money? I've also been thinking about maybe not like a podcast, but something similar to what Tate does. Tate does not only do podcasts. Sometimes he does just normal videos and post online. Do you understand? To motivate others,
Oh, like maybe something that you're expert in.
Correct. Or something you know about,
Yeah.
share, and that's pretty good. I think you maybe you motivate me to do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right.
Yeah, when you do it, let me know.
Of course. I will need your help. It looks like you're an expert on this now.
Yeah, right. Well, you can probably put it back.
Oh, no, it's okay.
You sure?
Okay, put it like this. And
Yeah.
then wear my hat.
Yeah.
Let's
Can you
see.
still hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear myself. Bro. Yeah. That's a good idea.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That's where you get your signature style
Right.
video.
Right.
Have you kept any of your traditions or customs from Nigeria?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like the food.
Uh-huh.
I was already 28 years old when I came.
Yeah.
I'm 38 now, so I...
Are there Nigerian restaurants? Is that a type of food?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. Maybe you don't know this, but Houston is the Nigerian capital of America. There's so many Nigerians here, more than anywhere in the U.S.
In Houston?
Yes.
Wow.
There are so many Nigerian restaurants, hundreds.
Is there like a little Nigeria? Because I think there's like little Colombia here in Houston and a little Korea or things like that. Is there a little Nigeria?
I'm sure because everywhere you go, there are Nigerians. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And they have Nigerian clubs, Nigerian restaurants, everything. Sometimes some part of Houston, if you go to some part of Houston, you think you're in Nigeria.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
everybody speaks,
Yeah.
the Pidgin and other Nigerian languages. But there's so many Nigerians here that it's hard not to, feel at home because, the food,
Yeah.
I love Nigerian food. It's,
Yeah.
awesome. That's what I grew up eating. So
What kind of food is it?
we have jollof rice.
Jollof rice?
Yeah, jollof rice and plantains.
Okay.
That's great. Then we have egusi and eba.
Okay.
Okay, egusi soup. We have draw soup.
Yeah.
We have edikain corn.
Oh, you have to take me to one of those
Of
restaurants.
course, man.
Yeah.
I will go have good meals. They're awesome.
What are... You know what? I need a beer. I ran out. I'm going to pause it there.
Let me get one of these ciders. Let me try it.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
What do you think are common misconceptions that people have here in the U.S. about immigrants?
Yeah, I think there are a few of them. One, they think immigrants come here and depend on the government, to survive. And no, we don't. We come here and we, depend on family until we can start supporting ourselves, and we work very hard and even contribute a lot to the, economy here. So
Yeah. Well, because you already have your business.
right.
And so through your business, you're bringing in revenue
Correct.
into the U.S.
You're paying
and you're paying
taxes.
taxes. You pay
Right.
taxes?
Of course.
Yeah. So since it's your own business, what kind of business is that? Is it like a DBA, an LLC? Have you set up it? Is it set up officially?
Yeah. An LLC.
Okay. Oh.
And I'm starting another business. I started already. I'm still in the process of building it,
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, immigrants know that when they come here, they have to work hard to survive because they already have that mindset before they even get on the plane, to come here. So when they come here, they don't expect anybody to, help them out or do anything for them, And if you don't have your papers, you can't even get any benefits because you are an immigrant. So
That's what I was going to ask you next,
Right.
because on the news I hear, sometimes you hear a lot of rhetoric that immigrants take a lot, that they... So did you find that, were there any benefits for you that were available?
none. Like I told you, even when I was homeless, it was my family back home in Nigeria that sent me money
Okay.
to survive. So there's you can't even get benefits. You don't have papers. How do you
Yeah.
apply? You don't have social security number. You don't have.
Yeah.
So how do you apply for the benefits? You can get nothing.
The government didn't give you any handouts? You didn't get
None.
a check from the government?
None. Zero.
2,000, 2,500, 500 bucks
None.
to help you
Zero.
get started?
No.
What do you hope for the future for yourself and your new life here in the U.S.?
Yeah, I'm 38 right now, and I turned 38 in on August 16th.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. So I want to be able to say I am financially free before, I used to say 40, but now I got to move it up.
I know the feeling.
right, So I got to move it up maybe to 45 now,
Yeah.
So life throws you curveballs, You plan your life out and it doesn't go the way you expect. and the
Life
way you plan.
happens.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it happens. But I want to be able to build an empire, and that's why I'm getting my PhD in business. So I'll be able to manage that empire. You see what I'm saying? And I see myself, very successful and happy, and I don't want to get married. I've always said that, even before my mom passed. I told her many times, I don't think marriage is for me. And she said it's not a good idea. You should get married. Say how happy I was with your dad, blah, 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 blah. But if you don't, I'm happy I have other children that can get married. But I'm happy she was able to attend some of the weddings before she passed, But yeah, I see myself building an empire, living happily and successfully ever after. Yes.
You were saying that you might do your own podcast. And what would you do a podcast about?
About motivational things, to motivate others, to never give up, to always, keep trying no matter how hard life is, I've been through tough times,
Yeah.
and I never depend on anyone. Even when I was homeless, I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell anybody until it became really, really,
Really?
unbearable, That's
when you had to ask for money.
Exactly, when I told my parents, and it was getting so cold. It was winter,
Yeah.
in LA, and I was just sleeping in the car. Like I said, the car is two-seated,
Yeah.
and I was just sitting like this every night, and it's just so before I could, ask
In the
them
little
for anything.
Z4.
Correct. Just to see that. If I knew I was gonna be homeless, I would have bought a better car that has a back seat,
Like a Suburban. or
Correct,
something.
exactly right, But I think I will, do a podcast to motivate and inspire people to. I was doing something like that, not a podcast, but a motivational writings, email list. I had about 5,000 subscribers then,
Really? Well,
about immigrants and life.
there you go, folks. Podcast coming soon by Cyril. Good.
Well, let's see, maybe when I'm done with my PhD programs, I'll have time for it.
When are you going to finish that?
In 2025.
2025?
Yeah.
Oh, a couple years left?
Yeah,
Okay.
middle of 2025.
And you're going to the University of Texas
Correct.
in Tyler?
Yes.
Okay. Which city do you like more between Houston and LA?
I like LA better.
Really?
Of course,
I
because
thought that because there was more Nigerians and more restaurants, you'd like it here more.
Right, but here there's nothing to do here apart from going to Bisu with you, which I enjoy doing. Okay, but there's nothing.
That's not enough.
In LA, you can go to the beach. You can go
Yeah.
to Manhattan Beach. You can go to Santa Monica Beach. You can go to Venice Beach. You can go. You know what I'm saying? See people from all over the world. Just stay there. You can go to Hollywood, and just there's so much to do in LA. A lot of things to do. But here, just the clubs and the restaurants. There's nothing.
You can't go to Galveston.
The water is dirty over there, and
Yeah.
that's not like the ideal beach.
Do you see yourself staying here in Houston?
I've stayed here for almost 10 years now, so that's a long time, and there's so many places to experience and to live. The world is just like someone said, if you stay in one place, it's like reading just one chapter over and over and over again
Yeah,
in
that's
a
a
book, and there are so many chapters to read, so many chapters to experience. So I believe that even though I enjoy staying here, I enjoy living in Houston, I would like to live in other places too. I would like to maybe move to Las Vegas for maybe 6 months and just live there and experience the gambling life over there.
Yeah, don't gamble your life
No,
away.
I don't gamble. Right, it's not like I would gamble, but just to experience something different,
Yeah.
And then after that, maybe move to Turks and Caicos for 6 months and experience life there.
Where is it?
Turks and Caicos? It's a vacation spot. It's not in the US. It's,
Okay.
about 3.5 hours away from here.
Okay.
Yeah, or just move to Dubai and live for a year.
That'd be nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just experience life from different perspectives, from different angles.
Those are really good goals. Do you have any hobbies? Like, what are your favorite things to do here?
Okay, my favorite hobby is watching true crime.
Okay.
True crime documentaries on cable. So I watch ID a lot. I watch Wives with Knives.
Wives with Knives.
It scares me. I'm never gonna get married.
I've seen that show. I think I saw one show.